Hello everyone, welcome. Today I just want to stop by to make a little video because it's been a while since I've made one. I've been busy and I had a computer breakdown. My hard drive crashed and so I've had to work with some other computers. But I wanted to stop by to emphasize a couple of things that are very important. First of all, you have to find your own way. No one can do it for you. Along the way, you may encounter someone who can point you in the right direction, maybe, or offer a little advice, or offer a clue. But you have to find it yourself. And when you find it, you have to see that it's the way for yourself. And then you have to follow it, regardless of what other people say. What do we call that? Well, we call it intuition. You have to see for yourself. There was a very nice speech that was given by Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple Computer. It was a speech that he gave to the graduating class at Stanford University. I encourage you to find that speech and read it, or perhaps watch him deliver it. It's online. You can find it very easily. It's very good because he talks about intuition and finding your own way. We all kind of know that, don't we? Especially if you're a young person. If you're 18, 20, 22, 24 years old, you know you have to find your own way. And you probably wonder when you look at older people, your parents, when you go to work with fresh eyes. When you're 22 or 20 or 24, you go to work at a corporation or something. You see everything with fresh eyes. And you see, it's kind of weird how some of the people there are just totally fixated on work. Work. That's all they can talk about. Other people, you can see the work is destroying them. Other people you see are alcoholics. There's something wrong. Other people seem to have lost the joie de vivre, the joy of life. You see, even your parents, you wonder what happened to them. When they're young, you see a young, strapping man, handsome, full of life and energy, and a little bit rebellious. You like that. That's why we like movies of heroes. Usually the heroes are independent, sometimes mavericks. Then you look at your dad and some of your relatives and so forth. They eat too much. They've gotten overweight, and they're kind of beaten down. And the ideals that they once had, they don't have anymore. So it's kind of sad. What happened? Well, they didn't find the way. They did the best they could, but they didn't find it. So you've got to find your own way. And if I may say so, a good way to start is with the little meditation that I have, because the little meditation will show you how to stand back a little bit, to get fresh eyes again. When you were a little child, you had fresh eyes. When you first went into the corporation, when you walked through the door, that first day, the first couple of days you were there. Well, maybe not the first day. You were just all worried about finding out what to do and where to go and meeting people and everything. But after you'd been there for a little while, maybe a week or two or 3 or 4, then you start seeing a lot of weird stuff. And you wondered about it. You had fresh eyes. You need to have fresh eyes again. And the meditation helps you to have fresh eyes every day. Life has to be fresh. When I sit down at the microphone and I start to talk, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Like today I thought, well, maybe I'll talk about my books. And I may talk about them, but I ended up talking about something else, about finding your own way. And getting those fresh eyes back that you had when you were a little child. So See, life has meaning. Life has purpose. There's something for you to find and to do. But when you find it, you have to see it for yourself. And you have to live life for yourself. And you have to take the steps for yourself. And no one can do it for you. So it's better if you don't rely on other people. Yeah, they can lend a temporary helping hand. Someone can offer you a job, but you're better off if eventually you have your own business. Someone can offer you a piece of advice. Someone can suggest something that's maybe useful. Someone can show you how to do something at work. They show you how to do something. But beyond that, there's very little they can do. You mustn't look to them for support. You have to find your own way. When it comes to everything, finance, health, issues, relationships, you got to find your own way. Now, about the very best that anyone can do for you in that regard is to wake you up. And how would they wake you up? With a blast of truth. See, you wake up. Then, if you stay awake, then you may recover from your affliction. How many people have been caught up with somebody? Caught up with some guru, some boss, some person, some relationship. Then all of a sudden one day they see that person for what they are in some moment. They see the flash of evil in the other person's eye. Or they happen to look at a text message and see that the guy's been cheating on her. See what I mean? Something like that. You see them for what they are. Careful, don't hate them. But it's the wake up call. It's a eureka moment. You know. Well, that's good, because when you get too comfortable, too involved with things, you lose your fresh eyes. So, all that having been said, now I will talk about my books. First book I want to mention here, I hardly ever talk about. Let me see if I can hold it up for you so you can see it. It's called Santa's Take on Parenting. That's right, Santa's Take on Parenting. What Santa Claus thinks and has to say about parenting. The little subtitle is Secrets from the North Pole. This book is so wonderful. Here's a picture of Santa. It's from an old postcard. It's Santa and Mrs. Claus. And he's about ready to go off to deliver the presents on Christmas Eve. And they're saying goodbye as he is ready to go. This is a wonderful little book. There's magic. I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's magic in this book. Any of you who have little kids, or big kids, or teenagers, you got to read this book. You really do. First of all, it's short. It's a good read. It's a story. It's a story, and your kids can read it. You can read it, and your kids can read it. You can buy it, read it, have it laying around somewhere, and the kids will read it. It's a great story. But it's about a boy and a girl who go to stay with Santa and Mrs. Claus for a little while. And you get to see, Santa's very wise, you know, and so is Mrs. Claus. And these children had issues. And you see how Santa deals with the issues with great wisdom and patience, of course, and humor. Beautiful. See, it's a wonderful book. It's called Santa's Take on Parenting. It's available at Amazon.com and in both Kindle and paperback. And then, while I'm on the topic of books, this one. It's hard to get this thing turned so you can see it. It's not working. There you go. It's hard to do it. This one is called Putting the Forever Back in Love. And I do talk about this one on my radio program a lot. The reason I'm mentioning it now, it's about relationships, but the reason I'm mentioning it now is the second half, about half of the book. About half of the book is devoted to parents and kids. So I highly recommend that you get this book. If you have kids and your kids have any issues, or if you have issues with your parents, or you're now an adult and you have kids and you find yourself treating your kids just the way your parents treated you. Or you want to find out what happened. What went wrong when you were a kid? The Authority of Love. A Heart-to-Heart Talk with Dads. I'm reading some of the chapter titles. Advice to Divorced Moms. My son doesn't listen to me. Coping with Manipulating and Confusing Parents. Any of you have a manipulative parent? How important is Dad? Could your problems have a basis in emotions? My wife cheated on me, now what? Well, that also has to do with kids, surprisingly. See, if you're a dad, you have to be there for your kids. But I'm not going to go into that now. You can get the book. Putting the Forever Back in Love. It's also available at Amazon.com in both Kindle and paperback. So I think I've made a nice little video here. You've got to live your own life. You've got to find it. Okay, so you make some mistakes. You made some mistakes. Big deal. Everybody does. You have to. Okay, so you went down some rabbit holes. You went the wrong way. You went to work at the wrong place. You married the wrong person. You had the wrong boyfriend. Okay, so what else is new? You know, it's happened to all of us. All right, so you other kids got you involved in doing something dumb like taking drugs or something. Well, okay. So now what? Now start to find your way. And it's so simple. But you have to do it yourself. Yeah, you can go to seminars. You can listen to the radio. You can hear what people say. But just listen lightly. Let it go in one ear and out the other. And if nothing clicks, then nothing clicks. But once in a while somebody will say something, and there's an internal testimony. Something inside it quietly makes you aware that, yeah, that's somehow important. It's somehow a useful clue. See? So what I do is I go through life and I just gather little clues. And I see things. And I hear people talk. And then I figure it out for myself. Well, I don't figure it out for myself exactly, but sort of. In other words, I don't rely upon them. What I do is, somehow my intuition makes me know. It's my intuition. I just suddenly know. I don't even know how I know, but I know. I'm looking for an answer. I search for clues, sometimes for a long time. I've had questions that I've wondered about for years, for decades. And then but I don't grab for any old answer. I don't rely on someone else. I just wait. And I wonder. That's it. Wait and wonder. And then all of a sudden one day, I see the answer. And I see it for myself. So somebody else can say something, but you have to see it for yourself. That's the key.